Hey everybody, I'm Nathan, and every week I do comic book reviews because that's the rule around my house. If I want to keep buying them, I gotta review them online. So I'm trying to catch up, trying to do all the ones that I haven't done in a while to get back up to speed with everything. I've read all the books. I read them at the time when they come out, but like a naughty little boy, I did not do the reviews that I said I was going to do, so here we go. This review is going to be for the Ultimates #1, sometimes called Ultimate Comics, The Ultimates #1. It's by Jonathan Hickman, Isad Ribic, and Dean White. And it has some very interesting color choices in here that we'll talk about in a minute. Now, if you listen to my Ultimate Hawkeye review, which you probably didn't because it wasn't all that great of a book, it starts almost exactly the same way as this, except for in this you go a little further into the superhero genre, and in that you kind of stay in the whole tech kind of super spy kind of genre situation. The absolute best parts of this book here are a lot of the silent 2-page panels here that almost have no words at all. I mean, with the exception, of course, of the weird eyes going on down there. But everything else is really great, especially Thor's hammer hanging from his belt, and then him getting very pissed off about, looks like Captain Britain, Jamie Braddock, pouring out the beer right in front of him. So they fight, of course. There's a drinking bear in there, too. That's really cool. Obviously, cool of the Vikings to have a drinking bear in Asgard. But anyway, when the panels weren't textless, I guess, they were a lot more, I don't know, detracting? Let's look at this one, for instance. There's a lot to say in here, and the word balloons are all over the place, but maybe they're saving the words to be on these pages so that it's not on others, but it's these pages that I didn't particularly like, of course. I also found that the coloring on a lot of these pages to be really strange because it's got this whole rainbow effect, right? It goes from like red to green, there's blue, then there's red at the bottom again. It seemed like Mr. White, or whoever was directing the color palette here, was trying to use a rainbow of colors on almost every single page. Which I think sometimes works, but here was kind of distracting from what was really going on. But then you get some kind of some similarity between the panels, kind of the same tone throughout it. On some other pages, again, here's one without words, and you get a lot better result, I think. So it's these kind of overdone rainbow type pages that really were detracting me, along with a lot of unnecessary text. Then there's the standard 2 pages of the title, which is kind of cool. You don't see that very often if you like that sort of thing. I do like that, in case you didn't know from Ultimate Fallout, that's Reed Richards right there, and this is his little dome place that he's working on that looks like an atomic explosion. And then there's a bunch of stuff that happens as far as with those superpowered people trying to break into Reed's dome, and then there's an explosion in Uruguay or something. It looks like a nuclear bomb or something that Iron Man has to go get into. The Iron Man here is interesting also because he remotes into suits, fully robotic suits, and kind of puts his consciousness in there. And one of those suits was in the explosion, so they don't know if he's okay in that situation. So that's kind of cool. You don't see that a lot before. I think they did do it in Iron Man, the regular series, once upon a time, but not to this level of technology anyway. So overall, I enjoyed it. I think this is a lot better than Hawkeye is, of course. I don't particularly care for the covers, and the artwork kind of throws me off a lot of times, but I generally like what they're trying to do here, and I'm interested to see where it goes. This is a much better Ultimates #1 than the previous couple of Ultimates #1s that we've had that I did not enjoy, like the Ultimates 2 and Ultimates 3 and whatever. Ultimate Comics Ultimates #1. I haven't really enjoyed any of those, though I've read all of them, as much as I like the first series. But anyway, so there you go, Ultimates #1. This was a polybagged issue that, what use is that at the end? Probably nothing. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I'll tell you, though, I did like it a lot more the second time I read it. So if you read this and you thought, well, it was okay, or no, I didn't really like it, reread it again, give it another chance, and you'll probably like it a lot more. So, good direction. I think this is going to be a great book, whereas Hawkeye, maybe not so great. In case you didn't read or listen to my other Hawkeye review. You get it here anyway. But if you like this review and are interested in others, you can look for Peteparker on Comic Vine and the DC and Marvel databases and iFanboy, or you can look for Spidey207 on YouTube and follow me anywhere on any of those, and you'll get all the reviews that I put out. I'm putting out a lot this week to try to catch up. So, regardless of whether or not you check out the rest of them, I appreciate you listening, and we'll talk to you on the next one.